a continuation of the self-help video that I posted last week Sunday. The video is titled 3 Tips to Boosting Your Self-Confidence. I will drop the link below and you can check that out before you watch this actual video. So today I'm expounding on one of those 3 points. Now let me just review the points real quick. I had said in order to boost your self-confidence, one of the things that you definitely need to be doing is ensuring that your to-do list is in line with what your current reality is. Number 2, I stated that you need to be checking your appearance, whether you're going out, whether you're staying in. Make sure you look good, because if you look good, you're gonna feel good. The 3rd point was pretty much learn a new skill. That's a hidden talent that you will use one day as a secret weapon. So go check out the video. As I said, I'm gonna drop the link below. Today we're gonna be expounding on the to-do list. So if you are a person who, you just have so many things doing, or it would seem that you have a lot of things doing, one of the things that I would really recommend to you is trying out a to-do list. Now, for me personally, many persons have asked me, Chris, how is it that you balance so many things at once? Because guys, I am a curious kitty. I love to learn new things because I just believe that knowledge is power, and the more knowledge that you can garner throughout your years, whether it is in your own industry or outside of the industry, I believe that is great. So for example, I'm a dancer, but from time to time I'll go on YouTube and check out different videos on things that are outside of dancing. So I'll check out yoga, I'll check out finance videos, I'll check out how to organize a business, all these different things, because I feel that those things hone you into an individual that is just rounded and it's just a lot more marketable that way. Am I right or am I wrong? Comment below. So today I'm gonna go through my to-do list. Now, let me just break it down for you real quick. Some time ago, I used to think that in order to have a to-do list that really works, you had to do a monthly to-do list, or you had to do like a 1 year or the whole 10-year plan. You go to those conferences about how to better yourself, and persons are always talking about what is your 10-year goal, what is your 5-year goal, what is your 1-month goal. And I used to try to do it. Like, I'm not lying to you, I used to try. I really used to put in the effort to say, okay, from 5 years from now, I want to be this, I want to do that. But then what used to happen is that even though, yes, they used to say, okay, also you need to outline how it is that you get to where it is that you want to go, it just never seemed to work out the way I put it on paper. Because guess what, guys? Life just happens sometimes. So what would happen is that after 1 month, God, not even 1 month, like during the space of a week, within a week, I would have give up and say, Lord Jesus, all right, this not work. Let me just go back to the chaotic Christina that I know best. And that sort of kind of would have worked. But then I started doing daily to-do lists, and this has really been helping me. So what I do the night before, so for example, this is Sunday night. So Sunday night, I would create a list. So I'm going to create my list right here for you, just so that you can see, and then I'm also going to do the breakdown of the why behind the why as to what each of these pointers is for. Alright, so we're doing a daily to-do list. Let's get right into number 1. So I like to break down my to-do list into 3 sections. This is what works for me. It may not work for you, but it's something that I've tried and it has really been working for me, particularly for 2020. And it's also helped to cut down my anxiety and make me realize, all right, calm down. This is what you have to do. This is a good blueprint that you can use. Calm down and just get it done. All right. So first and foremost, I have self-care. Secondly, I have household or environment. And for persons who have a family, or probably you're a single mom or a single dad, whoever is watching this video, that really has to do with who's around you, your environment within which you live. All right, a 3rd point is your business or your job. So that's how I break down my to-do list. Now, let me explain. Do I need to explain self-care, why that would come first? I think that's pretty self-explanatory, but let me go into it a little bit. If you are not sound of mind, if you are not centered in your thoughts, if you don't feel like all your senses, your 5 senses are aligned, or you have that sense of balance, as they say in yoga, then there's no way that the rest of things are going to actually fall into place for you. So you have to make sure that you yourself are good, that you're sound of mind. And there's this little thing that I'll go to. For those of you who have traveled before, or if you've never traveled before, one of the instructions that the air hostess usually gives first and foremost is that if in the event that there's a disaster or an emergency, the plane is going down, in the event that there's a person beside you that needs help, you have to save yourself first. And by saving yourself, you're going to put on your oxygen mask first before you help them. All right? Because the fact of the matter is, if you try to save that person and you're not okay, the two of you could probably dead, and a bigger emergency or a bigger disaster is that right there. I hope I've made that imminently clear. So self-care. So this week, what do I want to focus on? I want to deal, in terms of like my skin. I know probably the first thing we're going to think about is, okay, exercise is our first go-to, or stretching or whatever. No guys, like I'm a normal person. I'm a normal girl just like you guys. I want to feel beautiful and hot and sexy and bad. Bad. So my first thing would be full body exfoliation. Whoops. Exfoliation. Full body. Right? And I don't think I need to explain this, especially for the ladies. Self-care, especially when it has to do with like beauty type regimes, like a facial or a full body exfoliation, it just releases endorphins, especially I know in the females. It makes us feel really good, right? So a self-care item would be for you, for example, like painting your nails, or I don't know, shaving your legs. Whatever it is, it could be something that you go out and purchase a service like getting a professionally done manicure, or you could stay home, do your own manicure yourself, you could do waxing your eyebrows, whatever it is. But that is what I have put down for Monday. So tomorrow when I wake up, or probably even in the night, and one of the things too that I want to point out, it doesn't matter at what point in the day you get each of these things done, as long as you get it done. So tomorrow I'll be exfoliating, I'll be doing a full body exfoliation, and that's on me. All right? So number 2, when you deal with self-care, I'm not leaving off of self-care just yet. One of the things that you also want to think about, so not only full body exfoliation, that's my example, not just the physical, you also want to think about the mental. That's extremely important, and dare I say more important than the physical. But we're girls, we can't. We think about those things first. But one of the things that you do while you're exfoliating, while you're getting a manicure, whatever it is that you're doing, is that you can seek to satisfy your mind, right? So this is why whenever you go to a salon, sometimes the nail tech or the hairdresser will try to start a conversation with you, because that's also, they usually go really nice, they go in hand, right? They go really nice hand in hand. A good conversation with, while you're being pampered, and so it usually goes hand in hand. But what I like to do as well is, because I'm then home by myself, I'm in a quarantine, I like to turn on my TV, go to YouTube, and look for self-help tips. So a big one that I recommend for women especially is communication. How to communicate better with each other. I find that many times, and I've dropped little hints of it here and there, especially on Instagram. If you follow me there, @Chris_Choreo. One of the issues that many women have is that we tend not to control or the way that we speak to each other, right? Or even to the opposite sex. And so, for example, in the workplace, we tend to come off as very harsh, especially the alpha boss females. We tend to come off as very harsh and very, like we have a tone issue, or commonly in Jamaica, we like to say attitude problem. So what I like to do for stuff like that, especially when it's gonna affect my bag, honey, I will go online and I will check out videos that have to do with communication. And you can find videos like these, not only communication, but several different things. How to talk in front of an audience, how to sell, the psychology of sales, all these things are on YouTube. And I'm speaking from the perspective of an entrepreneur. If you don't want to look for those type of stuff, and if you do want to look for them, I'd advise you look for things like TEDx Talks. I can drop a link below so you can look at one of my favorite talks. And there are other videos that you can actually check into. If you don't want to look for those type of videos, there's also videos that help you to, relate to the opposite sex, how to attract a man. I know I drop those things here all the time, but guys, I like that sort of stuff. I mean, what girl doesn't? So I like to look for little videos like those. Even if I have a man at the moment, I still like it, because guess what? It keeps the relationship hot, it keeps it burning. So while, for example, I'm sitting down in my, if I exfoliate, and probably if I do like a full body moisturizer that you have to kind of leave it on for like 5 minutes or whatever, or probably a mask, then I will sit down and I'll watch that. I'll watch a nice little video about how to do this, how to do that, or something that, motivates you. while you're doing that. So I'm gonna put down a, should I call it motivational video? Let's watch a self-help video. Self-help video. Alright, and that's relative. I'm gonna put that asterisk right here. That's relative, depending on how you feel. Alright? And now, so we just did 2 for self-help. The next thing I'm gonna go into now is my environment. Alright? Now, me, who pretty much lives in a small, my environment is not that busy. So this is also relative and dependent on the individual who is watching. So for example, if you have a big family, one of the things that you can do, I'm from a big family, so I know sometimes it can get chaotic. So many times what you can do is, if you, for example, have problems around the home, you can seek to different ways of conflict resolution. I don't know. What is happening around the house? Is there any clutter that you need to get out of the way? For example, if you are a mom, or if you are just, just a woman in general, you want to do cleaning around your house. And I mean, you don't have to be, I'm not trying to be sexist or whatever, but it's just that women, we just prefer to have our place clean, usually. Typically, we usually like to have our place clean. So you can probably have a list, a part of your list could just be, okay, I want to paint out somewhere in the house, or I want to move around furniture. I want to shuffle around the furniture a little bit because the bed under the window is just disturbing my mood. The bathroom shower curtain needs to be washed, and I don't like it because I hate when it touches me and when I bathe. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. You go into the kitchen, what you want to eat, whatever it is, because what you find is that self-care and your environment will severely affect what I'm going to be putting down here, which is your business and your job. So you need to make sure that you are taking care of yourself first and foremost. And once you take care of yourself, then you want to go in and take care of the persons who are around you, or take care of the environment which is around you. And as women, we tend to neglect ourselves. That's why I really emphasize self-care. And I left 2 slots for self-care, and I'm putting right here, number 3, I'm going to put my environment. For me, it's going to be, I'm going to paint. I'm going to use some filler. I got some filler from the hardware, and I got some white paint. So I'm going to paint over a little spot that's behind this board right here, so that when I'm ready to do my tutorials, I have a brand new place. Okay, so for me, that's going to be paint and fill wall. Alright, so now the 4th and 5th things. And as I said before, this list is dependent on you. So if you want a little bit more, just keep in mind though, you want to ensure that your list is realistic. So you don't want to put a list and when you come home, paint wall, fill wall, sweep out, shuffle around furniture. And by the time you get down to here, you're too tired. That's why I keep my stuff at 5 points, right? At most, the least amount is, well, at the bare minimum, it's depending on points in terms of how much you want to put in. So for example, exfoliation or your self-care routine might take 2 hours. So you have to do it dependent on the schedule or the time frame that you have, right? So for me, I'm pretty much free, so my time's a lot more flexible. So you have to also think about your work life, what kind of flexibility you have, what does your day look like, all right? Realistic, okay? If you're not realistic, if you don't achieve your goals, you're gonna be hard on yourself and it's gonna affect your confidence. All right, so moving on from environment, now I'm going to go into business. So in terms of your business, I'm gonna leave a slot for organization or business administration, and then the final point is going to be, as a matter of fact, I'm going to put finance first and foremost. I'm going to put finance, or I'm going to put accounting, right? And accounting can also be like, budgeting. It can be budgeting. So if, for example, you're an entrepreneur and you have a business that you're running, you want to try to do your accounting so that you can see where exactly you are, where is that you need to be, make your goals in terms of the financial goals, where it is that you want to be. This is also a place where you can also pull up some videos as well. And these 2 last points, well, depending on how it is that you do them, you can do, because I do them by looking through books. So business and so on, I am learning as I go along. I try not to wing anything. I try to read textbooks. I'll go online, I'll go TEDx, I'll go to business websites, I'll go JBDC has lots of free conferences that they do via Zoom. You guys should check them out. And you just try to draw from all these different sources. So when you get on Instagram, look for persons who are on IG Live, look for business pages, right? So these are for the persons who are entrepreneurs. And you know, entrepreneurs, sometimes no matter how skilled, no matter how much degree, a master's or doctorate you have in a business, in a master, in a finance, whatever, so my time, you just, the textbook just don't tell you what to do, right? So many times you really just have to seek or pull from the experiences of others, and that's why I say I will take this time counting and budgeting, also business administrations, and then put admin, or you can just put it as organizing stuff, right? You can draw from various sources, okay? And so, for example, for tomorrow, one of my things is going to be budgeting. So I'm going to budget in terms of how much I want to spend in terms of creating or preparing for my next dance class. I have dance week that's coming up October 26th. I'll drop information below. Yeah, so I want to budget how much I want to spend in terms of preparing for that, in terms of also how much is that I want to earn from that. And yeah, and I write that out and compare it as well to what I did in the last dance week and the dance week before, and see what it is that I did differently, to see if I can do things a little bit differently this time so that I can reach my financial goal. Alright, so and the last thing now, in terms of admin and organizing, I mean, that's pretty much straightforward for an entrepreneur at least. Well, it may not be, but pretty much straightforward. You organize, structure your business according to what you want to see. You could develop like a little mini business plan. This is another thing. Some persons say that you have to create a 5-year business plan. Now, I'm not an expert at this, but again, when I create these 5-year business plans, I tend to go off. So what I do is I have one big goal, and then I have my daily to-do list that I need to do to reach up to that goal. So that's one thing that you have to keep in mind that I did not mention before. Make sure, even if you have a 5-year, 10-year goal and you have those itemized ways of getting there, make sure that each item is going towards that goal in the future. You know what I mean? So you might not be able to move a mountain all in just a week, but you can do little teeny things that will help you understand, take care of yourself, take care of your mental health, take care of your environment, your home, take care of the accounting, the admin, at the minute, at the small level, until you're able to, what you find is that eventually you will reach that place where you can conquer your goals and aggressively reach and, you know, just hit it out of the park. All right, I'm babbling on and on, but you understand where I'm going with this. All right, so in terms of accounting, admin, organizing, all these things, if you are not an entrepreneur, if you are a business, if you go to a regular 9-to-5 job, the last time I was in a 9-to-5 job was probably about a couple years ago. I was teaching dance full time. What you want to do is just, what are your goals? So what you want to think about as well, think back to when you did your interview, if it is that you did an interview with your employer. What are the things that they were attracted to? What were they pleased with? Why did they hire you in the first place? So many times you get into a job, a 9-to-5 job, after a while you get bored and you start to slack off, you start to just do only what is required. But what if you take the time after work and say, okay, this is what I did yesterday, this is what I did today, what can I do tomorrow that will basically exceed, you know, the expectations of me? And you know, sometimes I know persons might not do this simply because they feel that, you know, the whole money issue, they're not getting paid enough for it. But what about you seeing it as doing it for yourself, for your own fulfillment? Because what will happen after a while of you working constantly below your abilities is that your subconscious mind is going to get so used to that when it comes to the time that you have to rise, you might just fail. You might not even remember how to rise. So I encourage persons, one of the things that I usually say to people is that imagine your life right now as you just living your past. You're living within your past, and everything right now will all just be a memory. Is this what you want to remember about where you are? One of the things that you want people to remember you for is being great, being fantastic, being excellent at whatever it is that you did. So even if you left, you leave a great legacy behind you. And that's for persons who have a 9-to-5 job. So I understand that not everybody wants to be an entrepreneur, and that's okay, because I mean, with everybody being an entrepreneur, we're going to support the major businesses and the other corporate companies or so on that needs persons like yourself. The dedication, the commitment is important, right? So that is how I do my to-do list. So tomorrow, I'm going to be exfoliating full body. I'm going to be doing a self video. I'm going to be watching a self video, and that video will be on communication for me, because I know that is I want to work on that as a female. Sometimes my tone is taken the wrong way because I'm an alpha female and I know what I want, but sometimes I need to cut it down a little bit so people understand, alright, where I'm coming from. The next thing is I'm going to paint and fill my walls. So there's a little bit teeny holes back here, and I bought some paint, so I want to do that tomorrow. It's not going to take very long, probably about 20 minutes tops. The next thing, I want to do some budgeting for my upcoming dance class. The final thing is I'm going to be organizing the structure of my dance week, which is October 26th to the 30th. Let me see, 26th to 28th to 9:30. Yeah, October 26th to the 30th. So big up yourself, guys. This is my to-do list. Next week we'll be going over a little bit of appearance, and I will see you later.